Hey, welcome to Gold's Grudge. We're back at Daryl's Dyno service again in Springfield, Ontario. And I've got Ric Atchison and his son Jason here, the engine owners and builders. And we're going to get started with the second engine of 4 Dyno, I call it our Dyno shootout. I got a spreadsheet as usual. So let's get started. Okay, we're back in the dyno cell again, and got Ric Atchison, who's the owner of the engine, and him and his son Jason built it. I'll let Ric tell us what we got, and let's get going here.
Okay, so this is a 383 small block stroker with the Eagle rotating assembly in the bottom, and Keith Black Claimer 383 pistons. And the good thing about them is that the deck height is actually higher on the Keith Black piston, so you don't have to deck the block and you get a good compression ratio, which saves a little bit on machine shop costs. It's got an MSD distributor in it with the E-curve, which maybe later on we're going to get to try and see if changing the advance curve on it will allow us to increase the torque on the engine. Not sure what that's going to do, but we're going to try it.
Your cylinder heads?
Cylinder heads are the Dart Pro 1. It's the old version of the Pro 1, not the Platinum version. And they didn't flow as good as I thought they were going to flow when we first built this engine, so we had a chance to take it apart, and we ported the heads at home, and we got Bill Little to flow the heads, and we got around 270 flow at 600 on the best cylinder, and he recommended doing the short turn radius, so we did that also, but we didn't flow them. We thought that the dyno will tell us whether it worked out or not. So. And we got the RPM air gap intake with the, but it's the Chinese version, not the Eldebrock, and Demon carburetor 650 seems to work pretty good, and that's pretty much it, I think. Jason figured out all the stuff on what we want to put together and why we're doing it. So maybe you can tell you.
Yeah, we've been bench racing this combination for quite a while here, so we're interested to see what it's going to do, hoping that we'll be able to make 450 horsepower and still be able to drive around on the street.
Did you want to talk about the camshaft a little bit too?
Yeah, we had some healthy debates about the camshaft. First time we built this, it had a monster camshaft and high compression. We brought the compression down just over 10 to 1, and we put in an XE274 hydraulic flat tappet cam this time. So hoping to still have 450 horsepower, but be able to drive the kids around town.
We had it fired up and did a camshaft break-in. Had no noises or anything. Valve train's quiet, so we got it warmed up. We're going to do some dyno runs here and see what kind of power we can get out of it now.
Thanks, Daryl. So we're going to make some more runs, and as usual, we'll get together at the end and do a recap of what we learned. Since the first one, this is the second of 4. So we had Bill Little's engine here last week at the dyno, and this week, of course, is Ric. Next week, another Bill Little video, and then Pat from Cutter's Performance. I'm going to put a screenshot of this as we populate all the cells. I don't have all the information because we haven't done the dynoing yet. But I want to point something out. These are 4 different engines built by 3 different builders. Ric and Jason built this one. Bill Little built 2 of them, and Pat built the other one. They were built for an end purpose. So I don't want to give you the idea that it's a competition who can make the most power. That was not the intent of it. All these engines were built before I got the idea of doing this, actually. So, but if you're watching this, I'm going to populate all these cells and give you a bunch of information, 4 different combinations of 383s, and you can have a look yourself and see what parts and components you want to make to get the results that you want. Okay, let's make some pulls and see what happens.
We took it off the carburetor, so it should be good.
I'll get out of your way then.
Get warm here.
You'll have some loose rockers if you're losing the cam.
Looking for metal first. One of Ric's hairs when he assembled it.
BI valve springs in it?
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
No, I don't see any pieces in here, no metal or nothing.
So while Daryl's doing that, we're just doing a precautionary inspection at flat tapper cam. So after a few pulls, just inspecting to make sure everything looks good inside.
No, seems fine.
Point out what we're looking at. This is something that Ric and Jason installed. It's a Moroso oil separator. So the PCV valve goes through that on the way to the carburetor or the intake manifold, and if there's any oil getting picked up, if you watch the video, if there's any oil gets picked up in that, because typically at high RPM, you got enough blow by that there will be. It ends up in here, not inside the engine. So. Okay, we just made a few pulls, and so let's give Daryl and Jason and Ric a chance to talk about our observations and where we're going to go from here. So, Daryl?
So we've done a couple runs, 3 runs now, and we were doing really good for a bit, and then we've lost a little bit of power, and I couldn't figure out why. My throttle on my dyno is hydraulic. It uses water, and it hangs. I got to rebuild the one on the little servo on the engine stand, so it takes a little bit for it to come back to idle. So I put a throttle return spring on it, and I wasn't getting full wide open throttle, but it felt like it was on the hand throttle. So printed it off and looked at it, and I noticed that the rear wasn't using as much fuel as the front, and the front was using more than it did before. So that usually tells me that the rear throttle plates weren't open all the way, causing a bit of a restriction, causing the primaries to pull more air which pulled more fuel. So then I took the throttle spring off, and we're back to where we were before. So
That was a good catch, Daryl. We were all kind of worried there.
yeah, well, that's why we pulled the
When the power goes down, you get worried, right?
Yeah,
That
we
was
pulled
all
the
of
valve
us.
cover out, so we thought the cam was starting to fail because it is flat tappet, and I've seen it happen where the cam fails later on in the dyno session. So we just wanted to make sure everything was good. So, but we're back to where we were before. Previous run, we were 452 foot-pounds average torque with 451.5 and 373 average horsepower with 377. So we've got everything set, pointing in the right direction. Everybody's quite happy. Rick and Jason had a 450 horse in their mind is what they wanted to hit for peak horsepower, and this one was 456.3. So, and it's got a great torque curve. It's not even really a curve; it's just a plane. It goes way. It's going to pull and pull and pull.
That's nice power for that cam. I
Yeah.
think that's a great result, guys.
This engine's
Congratulations.
going to work really good. So now we're pretty happy with the way the fuel numbers are showing on the dyno. So we're going to start playing with some ignition on it. Right now we got the distributor locked out at 35 degrees. So we're going to fool around with the it's an E-curve one. So we're going to change put some actually advanced curve in it and see if we can gain some more power.
Rick, any comments?
No, we're pretty happy. Like you said, 450 was our goal, and we made that, and it idles really nice. And I'm not sure what the vacuum is at idle, but it sounded pretty good.
I never looked. I was
We'll
more
check next time.
We'll have,
Yeah.
we'll have to look, but I think it's going to work really good with the power brakes and everything. It should be a nice driver.
Mhm.
And your Camaro, what year is it, Rick, again?
It's a 87 Camaro, but it was a father-son project that we worked in the garage 3
Okay.
years together building it.
Oh, cool.
We stripped down a white one and painted it candy apple red and put frame connectors and suspension mods and
Oh, okay.
T5 world-class transmission and Aussie rear end
Oh,
out of a Holden, I guess it's out of, yeah.
oh, Aussie, you meant really Aussie. Okay. For lots of guys in Australia watch our channel, by the way.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, yeah. So,
So I'm hoping the old cam we had was only one step up. It was the XE274H, and it would bog when you let off the gas at a corner. So,
Okay. Okay.
and if you're coming through the subdivision, it's got pretty loud exhaust. Somebody decided we need a loud exhaust. So when you're going through the subdivision, you're pretty light on the gas, so you don't make a lot of noise, and it would kind of click, 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 click.
Or get jerky because of the cam.
Yeah, it was hard.
Sometimes the
on-
best cam on the dyno, not the best cam on the street, right? That's
Yeah,
kind of the
for
message,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
So, great.
Yeah, especially with a manual transmission because you get that shake.
Yeah, that's a good point, and it is a manual that
Yeah, you got to keep the RPM up to get past that.
you
all the
plunge
time.
into. What ratios are in?
3.23. No, 3.27.
You can go 150 miles an hour now. If you want to.
Don't.
I'm not suggesting that, but you
Just
could.
don't
probably,
get
right?
caught.
323. Jason, any comments?
Yeah, we're pretty happy with this result. The goal was to make 450 and still be able to drive around the street. And the old man was right again, still making big power with the small cam. And so, yeah, can't wait to get it back in the car.
That's a nice piece, guys. Congratulations. Okay, just a little, I guess, tip of the day. It's got nothing to do with the engine that we have at the dyno, but this is off a previous engine that Rick and his son Jason built. And it's a hypertectic Keith Black piston. And you can see, if you look closely, part of it is missing. And I've commented before, if you're using hypereutectic pistons, and a lot of these pistons now, the ring is located very close to the top of the piston, so a lot of heat is conducted to it. So the typical ring end gap is about 4.5 thousandths per inch, and when you have this situation, it should be about 6.5 thousandths. Now, I don't know what it actually was, but if you look at it, the ring is broken exactly the same place as the piston. And my thinking is, apparently this engine did get hot, and the ring expanded, and there's no place for it to go, so it pops the top off the piston, and that's my guess. Anybody watching, you got lots of experts out there, tell me what you think happened. Welcome back. We're back at Daryl's dyno. We're going to sum up here as we usually do. So I got my spreadsheet. We're filling out numbers, and we mentioned before this is the second of 4 383s that we're going to compare. And the idea is it's not a competition, but when I'm done, I always make a screenshot of this now and after the third engine and after the fourth engine, and we'll show you all that. So if you're building one of these and you want to look at 4 possible combinations, here's your chance. So Daryl, of course, everybody knows Daryl already. Jason and Ric Atchison are here as well. So they built this engine together. By the way, I'll put a picture of Ric's 87 Camaro in the video. And I have to mention, last week we had Don Parker's engine, and Don, when I published the video, I didn't have his picture yet, so I'm going to show that picture as well. It's a 1970 Camaro, so watch for that. So I'll let you start, Ric, and tell us what you want to tell us about your engine. And I've got all the stats here. If you miss anything, I'll fill it out for you.
So I guess the big thing for me is really happy with the horsepower. I was hoping for 450. I posted that on your first video that I was looking for 450, so kind of great that we got there. And looking for a nice idle so that we can cruise around the street without double footing the gas and the clutch and all that kind of stuff. So it's I'm pretty happy with it. It looks like it's going to idle nice, and it looks like Daryl had it on at about 800 RPM, and it was idling really good. And I don't know if you checked the vacuum or not, but it looked like it's pretty good.
We can fire it back up after and check it with the
vacuum. You'll be fine with that, Cam. You'll be fine on vacuum. So just to cover that, 453 horsepower at 5,900, 473 torque at 4,000 RPM were the final numbers on 91 pump gas, by the way, Petro-Canada pump gas. So back to you guys. Jason?
Yeah, I'm really happy with the results. There was a moment where we thought we blew it up, but Daryl figured that out, so that was good. And it's good power with the drivable cam, so looking forward to getting it back in the car now. Especially impressed with the torque figure on this the Daryl can maybe shed some more light on it, but it's almost a flat line torque all the way across, so that's going to be real nice in the car.
Yeah, the torque curve on that engine is not even really a curve. It just goes up, goes straight across, and then starts to fall off. And that's really, you're going to really feel that in the car. Like, that's going to pull like crazy. Every gear you're going to pull it. You're going to feel that. It's going to sink you right in the seat. But yeah, that part where we thought we had a problem with the engine, but it was actually my fault because I put a return spring on. We didn't get full throttle. So I picked up on it and fixed my mistake. Not everybody's perfect.
That was a good catch, by the way.
Yeah.
So if you notice, it was just like
Seen it
20
with-
horsepower or less, or something like that.
No,
on
it
one
wasn't.
bolt? Not even
Not
that.
quite. No, but it just wasn't back where we
Right.
originally were. I
Right.
noticed it with fuel flow. So,
Oh.
but yeah, no, the engine works fantastic. Sounds nice. There's no noises. Doesn't have any leaks in it. I'm quite happy with the way it turned out. You guys did a great job on the build. That's awesome. So
Daryl's a good ignition troubleshooter too.
Yeah.
Somebody put the wires on backwards on the coil and he picked that up right away, and then it started.
yeah, we had a little trouble getting it fired the first time, but yeah, we figured that out. We tried different timing in it, and it's happy right around 35 degrees. We put more in it, and it didn't gain or really lose, so it's not terribly fussy. So we're good that way. So we keep it back at 35, where it's a little more streetable, and you don't have to worry about burning any pistons out of it or anything like that. Because I know you've had experience in
Nice,
that.
nice street motor that you can drive and enjoy. So, just to cover off, we'll put a screenshot up, but just according to Ric's information, 10.4 compressor ratio. It's got 175 psi cranking pressure. So, if you heard me talk about this before, 160 to 180 is a nice sweet spot. So you're right in there. Dart. 200 CFM CC Pro heads, comp 274H. It's a hydraulic flat tapper cam. It's not a roller cam, so that's really good numbers for the flat tapper cam. So it's broke in successfully. So 230, 236, 1.5 rockers, and you probably could have got another 10 if you had 1.6 rockers on there, I would think, or something like that. So
Yeah. We would have got some.
650 D-Min carburetor, 70 jets on the front, 83 on the back, and it's got an MSG programmable distributor, I guess that's what you call it, right? So,
The primary had a power valve in it too.
pardon?
The primary's had a power valve with 70.
Primary power valve on the front and no power valve on the back, right?
Correct.
Okay, yep. So, pretty nice day, fun day. It's always good to end on a good note, and thank you both Ric and Jason for contributing to my channel, being part of my shootout, and of course Daryl really is kind of part of the team now. So
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
don't
too.
forget to like and subscribe.
There
Thank
you
you for
go.
watching Gold Scratch.